Our planet is full of amazing places, but as they say, beauty can be deadly. Some locations, despite their stunning landscapes, are death traps, whether due to extreme natural hazards, toxic environments, or human conflict. From peaceful-looking islands hiding lethal secrets to seemingly calm regions that turn hostile in an instant, these places prove that danger often lurks where you least expect it. Whether shaped by nature's fury or human actions, they remind us that not every paradise is meant to be explored. Here are 15 places on Earth that are far more dangerous than they appear. If you think you can handle the truth, keep watching. But be warned, some of these zones are so deadly, you may wish you never knew about them. Let's start with number 15, Mount Sinabung, Indonesia. Mount Sinabung isn't just an active volcano, it's a ticking time bomb. Located in Indonesia's Sumatra Island, this restless giant has erupted multiple times in recent years, displacing thousands and burying entire villages under layers of ash. Unlike some volcanoes that follow predictable cycles, Sinabung erupts without warning, sending fiery lava, rock, and toxic gas into the sky. The constant threat of pyroclastic flows, blistering clouds of gas and debris that race down the mountain at deadly speeds, makes it one of the most dangerous places on Earth. Locals have had to evacuate and rebuild their homes more times than they can count, only for another eruption to undo it all. Despite the risks, farmers still return, drawn by the fertile volcanic soil. For thrill seekers, nearby Mount Bromo offers a safer alternative to witness Indonesia's volcanic power. But if you're looking for a place to test fate, Sinabung is happy to oblige. Number 14, North Sentinel Island, India. North Sentinel Island might look like a paradise lost in time, but this is one destination you'll never see on a travel brochure. Home to the Sentinelese, one of the world's last uncontacted tribes, this island is completely off-limits. The tribe has lived in isolation for thousands of years, resisting all outside contact, violently. In 2018, an American missionary who attempted to approach them was swiftly killed, reinforcing their reputation as one of the most hostile indigenous groups in existence. But it's not just visitors who are in danger. The Sentinelese have no immunity to modern diseases, meaning even a handshake could wipe them out. That's why the Indian government enforces a strict no-visit policy. The island remains a mystery, hidden behind a dense jungle and a wall of secrecy. As tempting as its untouched beaches may seem, some places are meant to be left alone. North Sentinel is one of them without any doubt. Number 13, Madidi National Park, Bolivia. At first glance, Madidi National Park looks like a tropical paradise, but step inside and you'll quickly realize it's nature's version of a death trap. Spanning 19,000 square kilometers of dense Amazon jungle, this park is home to an impressive array of wildlife, most of which can kill you. Venomous snakes, jaguars, and flesh-eating parasites lurk in the shadows, while even the plants are out for blood. Brush against the wrong leaf, and you could be dealing with rashes, burns, or hallucinations. The water? Not much safer. Piranhas, electric eels, and parasitic fish that invade the human body make sure of that. Getting lost here isn't just possible, it's probable, and without a guide, survival is slim. Still, for the brave or reckless, Madidi is a biodiversity goldmine, offering a rare look at untouched wilderness. Just don't forget the insect repellent, and maybe a will. Number 12, Snake Island, Brazil. If you hate snakes, welcome to your worst nightmare. Just 25 miles off Brazil's coast, Ilha da Queimada Grande, better known as Snake Island, is home to one of the deadliest reptiles on Earth, the golden lancehead viper. With venom so potent it can melt flesh, these snakes dominate the island, outnumbering humans at a ratio of roughly 1 per square meter. That's right. Every step you take, there's likely a snake nearby, waiting. It's so deadly that the Brazilian government banned visitors altogether, with only select researchers allowed in for scientific study. The last person rumored to have wandered too close was a fisherman. His body was later found in his boat, covered in snake bites. Despite its lethal reputation, the island plays a crucial role in ecological research. But unless you're a herpetologist with a death wish, your safest bet is to admire it from a very safe distance. Here only snakes rule, and humans scare. Number 11. Fukushima Exclusion Zone, Japan. The Fukushima Exclusion Zone isn't just abandoned, it's frozen in time. After the 2011 tsunami triggered one of the worst nuclear disasters in history, entire towns were evacuated, leaving homes, schools, and businesses eerily untouched. What remains is a ghost town, where nature is slowly reclaiming the streets, but the invisible threat of radiation still lingers. Some areas have been reopened with strict safety regulations, while others remain too toxic for human life. For those who do visit, the eerie silence is overwhelming. Shops still stocked with goods, clocks stopped at the moment disaster struck, and personal belongings left behind in a rush for survival. While radiation levels have dropped, hotspots remain, making long-term exposure a serious risk. Scientists continue monitoring the area, and efforts to clean up the contamination could take decades. Fukushima stands as a chilling reminder of how quickly civilization can be undone, sometimes in a matter of minutes. Just hope that World War III doesn't happen. Number 10. Congo Rainforest, Africa. The Congo rainforest is a land of extremes, lush, vast, and teeming with wildlife, but also one of the most perilous places on Earth. If you don't believe it, just Google it and you'll know. Its dangers aren't just from nature, though venomous snakes, malaria, and Ebola are enough to keep most people away. The real threat comes from human conflict. Rebel militias, illegal mining operations, and lawlessness make certain areas near impossible to navigate safely. Roads? Forget them. Help? You're on your own. The jungle itself is so dense that getting lost often means staying lost. Yet, it's home to some of the world's most elusive wildlife, including bonobos and mountain gorillas. Those brave enough to venture in do so for conservation or research, knowing full well that one wrong move could mean disaster. It's a paradise and a battleground rolled into one, where both nature and people remind you who's in charge. Well, it's not you. Number 9. Mount Washington, USA. Mount Washington doesn't just have bad weather, it has record-breaking, life-threatening weather. Nestled in New Hampshire's White Mountains, this peak holds the record for the fastest wind speed ever recorded at ground level, a staggering 231 miles per hour. That's faster than most hurricanes. Add to that temperatures that plummet to -40 degrees Fahrenheit and storms that roll in without warning, and you've got one of the most dangerous mountains to climb. Even experienced hikers have been caught off guard, suffering frostbite, hypothermia, or worse. What makes it especially deadly is how deceptively accessible it seems. Many underestimate its risks, thinking it's just another East Coast hike. The reality? Mount Washington has claimed over 150 lives, proving that you don't need Everest-level altitude for a mountain to be lethal. If you visit, prepare for a battle against the elements. Or, admire it from a safe, heated distance. Number 8. Death Valley, California. Death Valley isn't just hot, it's the hottest place on Earth. Furnace Creek once recorded a blistering 134 degrees Fahrenheit, or 56.7 degrees Celsius, and even in the shade, temperatures can be lethal. Stray too far from the road without enough water, and dehydration or heat stroke could become fatal within hours. If the relentless heat doesn't get you, the venomous rattlesnakes might. Despite its extreme conditions, Death Valley remains a popular tourist destination, attracting adventurers drawn to its desolate beauty. If you visit, bring more water than you think you'll need, stick to marked areas, and don't underestimate the power of the desert. It doesn't forgive mistakes. Number 5. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, Hawaii. Hawaii isn't just paradise, it's a land in constant motion. Sitting atop one of the most active volcanic zones on Earth, Hawaii Volcanoes National Park is a thrilling but dangerous destination. Lava flows carve new landscapes, and the ground itself can crack open without warning. The real danger, however, lies in the toxic gases and ash that fill the air, making some areas unbreathable. Visitors have wandered too close to molten rock or ignored warnings, paying the ultimate price. While the park offers incredible views of Earth's raw power, it's a reminder that nature doesn't play by human rules. Respect it or suffer the consequences. Number 6. Fraser Island, Australia. Fraser Island might look like a tropical dream, but don't let the postcard-worthy beaches fool you. This place is a survivalist's nightmare. The island is crawling with aggressive dingoes, venomous spiders, and some of the most dangerous marine life in the world. Swim at your own risk. Lethal jellyfish, bull sharks, and strong currents make the waters just as deadly as the land. Tourists who ignore safety warnings have been attacked by dingoes or stung by box jellyfish with fatal consequences. If you plan to visit, stay alert, respect the wildlife, and remember, on Fraser Island, paradise comes with teeth. But as they say, beauty often comes with a price. Number 5. Skeleton Coast, Namibia. The Skeleton Coast is a place where the land itself seems to reject life. We mean, just look at it. This desolate stretch along Namibia's coastline is littered with shipwrecks, sun-bleached bones, and landscapes that feel stolen from a dystopian nightmare. Its name isn't just poetic. Sailors used to call it the Gates of Hell for a reason. The relentless Atlantic waves make landing impossible. The desert's heat is merciless, and fresh water is non-existent. Even animals that wander too close, from whales to lions, don't always make it out. Despite the grim conditions, the area is home to a few of the world's toughest creatures, including desert-adapted elephants and brown hyenas. But for humans? Let's just say survival isn't likely. Tourists who visit are usually flown in and out, because once you're stranded here, rescue isn't coming. If the shipwrecks and bones don't convince you, maybe the unforgiving landscape will. Number 4. Danakil Desert, Ethiopia. The Danakil Desert isn't just another hot place. It's one of the most extreme environments on Earth. Located in East Africa's Afar region, this inferno routinely hits temperatures of 122 degrees Fahrenheit and is plagued by toxic fumes, bubbling lava lakes, and sulfur-spewing geysers. The ground itself is an alien mix of neon yellows, acidic greens, and fiery oranges, making it one of the most geologically active places on the planet. Standing here feels like standing in another world, one that actively tries to kill you. Water sources are scarce, the air is laced with poisonous gases, and even brief exposure can leave you dehydrated or worse. Yet incredibly, people still live here. The Afar people have adapted to the extreme conditions, mining salt from the deadly landscape. For thrill seekers, a visit to Danakil is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Just don't forget your gas mask, and maybe a backup plan. All right, guys, now let's head over to Number 3. Mount Everest, Nepal. Mount Everest is the pinnacle of human endurance and, for some, the ultimate trophy. But this mountain doesn't care about ambition. It swallows the unprepared whole. At 29,032 feet, Everest's death toll keeps rising, and the biggest threat isn't the climb itself, but the infamous death zone above 26,000 feet. Here, oxygen levels are so low that your body starts shutting down. Every step feels like lifting lead, and a minor mistake can mean the end. Frostbite, avalanches, altitude sickness, and sudden blizzards claim lives every season. Worse, overcrowding has turned the ascent into a deadly traffic jam, where climbers collapse while waiting in line. The higher you go, the more frozen bodies you'll pass, grim reminders of those who underestimated Everest's wrath. It's the ultimate challenge, but if you go unprepared, the mountain doesn't forgive. Some make it back with a story, others become part of the landscape. Number 2, Gates of Hell, Turkmenistan. The Gates of Hell isn't a myth. It's a massive burning crater in the middle of Turkmenistan's Karakum Desert. Officially called the Darvaza gas crater, this inferno has been raging since 1971, when Soviet scientists accidentally unleashed an underground gas pocket. In a classic oops moment, they set it on fire, assuming it would burn out in days. Decades later, it's still going. The 230-foot-wide pit glows with molten orange flames, spewing heat so intense you can feel it from hundreds of feet away. Tourists brave the barren desert just to stand at its edge, staring into what looks like a portal to another dimension. While scientists debate closing it, locals have already named it the Door to Hell, and honestly, they're not wrong. It's a terrifyingly beautiful sight, one that reminds us that some mistakes are impossible to undo. Just don't trip too close to the edge. Number 1. Bermuda Triangle, Atlantic Ocean. The Bermuda Triangle is the ultimate mystery zone, an area in the North Atlantic where ships and planes have disappeared under unexplained circumstances. Stretching between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, this stretch of ocean has sparked countless theories, from magnetic anomalies to rogue waves and even something more sinister. While science leans toward logical explanations, freak storms, methane gas eruptions, and human error, the triangle's reputation refuses to fade. Pilots have reported compass malfunctions, sailors have spoken of ghostly fogs, and entire vessels have vanished without a trace. The most unsettling part? No wreckage is often found. Whether it's nature's chaos or something beyond understanding, the Bermuda Triangle remains one of Earth's greatest enigmas. If you're planning a cruise or flight through the region, chances are you'll be fine. But the stories of those who weren't will always keep people wondering. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon in the next one.